introduce y'all to my extra needy cat. Hello, this is Lucifer. He's super, super needy, even though I just literally gave him attention 5 minutes ago. He needs to be petted again because apparently having attention a few minutes ago just wasn't enough. This is my other super needy cat, Pineapple. Both cats are rescue cats that I found outside and brought in. Oh my god, their hair makes me sneeze like crazy. But absolutely love my cats. I want to show you guys. Look at this. This is Pineapple. Pineapple is a cat that I rescued literally maybe about 2 years ago. So I've had her in total for about 4 years. Both great cats. Why is it that cats and children are so much alike when it comes to being super needy? And that's not saying anything bad if any of you watching tonight are cat owners, but my cats are like extra children. They're very, very needy. I swear. I wonder if I'm allergic to cats because their hair makes me sneeze like crazy. Anyway, I wanted to jump on here and do a live because someone had asked me to talk about metal detecting because I do metal detecting. So I thought it'd be kind of fun, since I've shown you guys my awesome rock collection, to show you some of the really cool things that I have found metal detecting. So most recently, I actually found this, I don't know if you can see this sterling silver 1/10 of carat diamond pendant while I was out metal detecting. It's probably one of my most recent, coolest finds ever. Not related, but did find this. Y'all know I love rocks. Look at this cluster of rocks right here. So I was metal detecting, just kind of looking for a coin that my detector said was in the ground, and I found this cluster of crystals. Isn't that pretty? Like, I've never seen rocks with crystal clusters together. Look at that. This lighting does not do this thing justice. What a beautiful piece, though. I'll show you another piece. Look at this one. This is a green one. I've never seen green crystals before, so this is the first one that I've ever seen. I did, however, when I was looking, digging up a coin with my metal detector, find this really neat fossil. Look at this. I find the coolest things lately, like when I'm out using my metal detector. One such thing that I found, if you're into artifacts, is an arrowhead. Look at this arrowhead. I was just metal detecting maybe about a week ago, and I dug up this arrowhead. Now, the area where we live, there's a lot of Native American artifacts here. I'll show you something else really cool. Look at this. This is a handmade carving tool. It's a Native American artifact. I found this when I was in a dried up riverbed. You just never know what you're going to find when you're out using your metal detector. You might find a fossil. You might find an animal bone. Or you may just find some really old screws or nails that are handmade. Excuse me, I said screws. Handmade nails. Look at that. So I tried to look this up online, and you can't even find, look at the amount of rust on these. You can't even find these anymore. It's wild. Let me show you one that's not rusted, kind of same thing. If you can see that, look at that. Not a modern nail by any means, but we used to have a small mining town, like, God, 50, 60 years ago, in the area that I'm from. And so you'll find like little rusty nails and just different things all over. You might also find little pieces of broken bottles. Like when I found this, I didn't know what this was. Turns out, if you turn it upside down, this is actually a piece from an inside broken bottle. And I've also found pieces of really cool Japanese teapots and pottery. Look at this piece. It's really beautiful. Even if you don't collect glass or artifacts, it's just kind of fun to find different things. So on one of my digs, now the area technically that I went to dig at, you're not really supposed to dig there, but shh, that's just between me and you guys. Here's a teapot handle that I found on one of my most recent digs using my metal detector. Look at this. Isn't that cool? I wish I had the entire teapot, but I don't. I just found the handle. But when you go digging, always trust the metal detector. Dig down how far it says, and you never know what you're going to find. Like I said, it just might be a piece of pottery, might be a piece of a teapot, or piece of a broken plate. You just never know what you're gonna find. Recently, though, I found a lot of nails out metal detecting. I don't know why. That seems to be like the #1 thing. And the joke is that I have enough of these old school nails that I can open up my own nail shop. I don't know if you can see that. If you see what's in the background, I'm a huge fan of Superman. I absolutely love Superman. The character who played Superman in Smallville, Tom Welling, super charming man. Because I see that someone pointed that out. I also would like to show you another piece. Look at this. So I found a teapot in my most recent dig 2 days ago. Well, or rather part of a teapot or teacup. And then the best find, my best find, I don't find too many coins, but I do find a lot of jewelry. So my best find is, I don't know if you can see this, this is a bag full of coins that I'm assuming somebody lost when they were out hiking or something, because I was hiking, got my metal detector out and went digging, and I found a bunch of $50 pieces, a bicentennial quarter. Let's see what else is in here. Yeah, just a bunch of different random coins in this little baggie. Interesting little baggie, by the way. And another interesting find is, so sometimes I'll go into areas to metal detect that you're not really supposed to be in. In one such instance, I found a old school bullet that had already been fired. So I have about, gosh, 5 or 6 of them here in my little collection. You just never know what you're gonna find when you go metal detecting. Could be regular artifacts, could be Native American artifacts, such as this one right here. I don't know if you can see how I'm holding this. So this is actually a Native American grinding stone that I found on one of my last digs using my metal detector. And then, let's see, I'm trying to pull out some different things to show you guys. Here is a Native American. It's a different arrowhead than I'm used to normally seeing. If you've seen the one that I showed you just a minute ago. Here's another Native American arrowhead. Found this in a different area, so depending on where you are, they're not all necessarily going to look the same or have the same, you know, size, shape, color, etc., etc. Get another piece out of this shelf here. This, digging in the same area, I found this. I think it's a part of, I'm guessing by the grooves on it, that it, let me know if you can see this. Do you think that this is a cup, or do you think that this is a bowl? Found this metal detecting literally maybe about a month ago, and I just kind of put it in my collection because it looked like an old piece of glass, which I really like. I'm really into collecting kind of odd, obscure little, just different things. So if you know what this is, let me know in the comments. Do you think it's a broken glass, a cup? I'd be interested to hear what everyone thinks it is. And then I got another little piece from my dig, but this one is a dig from the beach. And I believe that it is a piece of a bottle. Turned into a giant piece of sea glass by the ocean. Another really cool thing for my most recent dig, that, like I said, dig, like as in the last 3 months, is this stone. Look at this stone. Now, all of these things that I found that I'm showing you are from metal detecting, and I've cleaned them up. Look at that piece. Isn't it brilliant? It's beautiful. I'm obsessed with unicorns. Another one that I found on another dig. I think people just kind of collect stuff and then they lose it, because some people carry rocks in their pockets. Look at this one. It's supposed to be a mushroom, and I think somebody did buy this one and lose it on their hike because it still has a price tag on it. It says it's a moss agate, but we do have a rock shop in my town, so that doesn't surprise me. People buying rocks and then keeping them in their pocket or losing them. Look at this one. Here's another. These are all rocks that are turned into different shapes. This one I actually found when I was in the Sacramento River area doing a little dig in the water with my metal detector. Look at that. Isn't he neat? And then I went to San Francisco and I found this one doing a metal detecting dig on the beach. Look at that. Isn't that pretty cool? You just never, really never know what you're going to find. Not everything is super interesting. Like this is one of my probably least interesting things that I found. It's a part of a old like liquor bottle, federal state liquor bottle from the 1950s, but I only found the top part of it. So I'm a little bummed on that, but still such a great piece. And then here's something that I actually found yesterday. So I was metal detecting out near our water. Now it's a very interesting area where we live, so you never really know what you're going to find. I found this little vintage picture on the front, and then on the back, it's a mirror. So kind of cool. Sometimes I will just dig up things like this. I found this when I was doing a dig at one of our local parks. So, because I'm Batman. It's just a little toy. I'm not really into collecting toys unless it's Superman, personally, but it is what it is. So what do you all think of some of the things that I showed you from my metal detecting finds? Also, do any of you in the comments metal detect? I'm just curious. Yeah, they are some beautiful pieces. They really are. I've only been metal detecting maybe for about half a year now. I've joined a couple groups and decided to just go out and have some fun because you don't know what you're going to find. And if you're in the Northern California area, there is actually a lot of history here. So you can go to the beaches and you'll dig up some pretty interesting, like old coins, maps, messages in a bottle, just different things. What's something interesting that y'all found on one of your local walks, hikes, metal detecting? I'm curious. Also, how is everyone doing today? What time is it from where you're watching? Like here in California, it's about 6:45 at night. But the sun is bright and blazing like it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm from Florida. Nice. What part of Florida? I have a friend who lives in that area. How's the weather right now? My friend says it rains a lot who lives in Florida. Just so everyone knows, when you're in the comments and I do my lives, regardless of whatever topic I'm talking about, YouTube does monitor the comments. So if it's not appropriate, don't say it on here. This is a family-friendly channel. And your comment is very inappropriate, like very sexually inappropriate. And that's probably something you should keep to yourself. Yeah, the piercing was kind of a mistake. I got a piercing when I was 16. I actually regret it because it's causing a gap between my two bottom teeth. So I'm actually getting ready to remove that this week. But you know what I don't regret? Tattoos. Tattoos. Check out this. Pink Floyd intermixed with Star Wars. And he's also meditating. You can never have, oh, your hair is going to start making me sneeze, cat. You can never have too many tattoos. My cat is coming to say hi. She is a rescue. Come here, Pineapple. Maybe not. This cat can be wild sometimes. Come here. No, apparently if I don't have catnip, she doesn't want anything to do with me. But yeah, if you saw at the beginning, I introduced my two cats. I rescue strays, and then I fix and find them homes. Come here. She's acting very, very shy. Let's see if she'll say hi to you guys. Pineapple. Pineapple, say hi. Look at that cat. Isn't she so pretty? Yes, prior to her, she's the first calico cat that I've ever seen. My other cat's an all black cat. Piercings are fun. They're just a way for me to express myself, just like the tattoos. I am actually going to, now that my partner is home to relieve me, I am going to take a quick break because my kids aren't here right now, so I get to walk around without stressing that they're doing something they shouldn't be doing, like rubbing the cat down with a slice of ham. I'll try to figure out where they put my shoes. Yeah, the other day, my kid went into the fridge while I took a nap, got a slice of ham out, and rubbed the cat down with a slice of ham. And when I woke up, I couldn't figure out why there was a hairy slice of ham in the fridge. And long story short, she decided to rub the cat down with ham. I don't know why. And then it gets better. She decided she was going to take, now she's only, mind you, she's only like 7 years old. She decides to take feminine products that women use and for Shirk Week. And she decided to stick them all over herself, telling me that they were stickers. Tell me why kids be doing the wildest things that you wouldn't expect that they would do. No, seriously, when I say that they are wild, they are wild. She got out a pen and she decided that it was going to be funny to sit there and draw pictures of SpongeBob on her brother's back, who's a year old. So yeah, kids do some things that they necessarily shouldn't do. I do want to open up, like I said the other night, I was going to open up the live to questions if anybody had any questions or any random topics that they wanted me to answer. I can totally do that. Last night we were talking about a little bit about the wildfire going on in Canada. What's everyone think of what's going on right now? All the protesting in LA and them sending back people to countries that they've never been to. I'm a little honestly appalled by this. Like, apparently now, and I don't mean this to sound racist at all because I have friends of all colors, genders, whatever, from all over the world, but it really freaking makes me pissed off when they think just because you're brown, you can't possibly be born in America and that you're automatically from another country. Like, what the heck is up with that? And then they deport people to countries that they've never been in for protesting and standing up for their rights. I'm a little bit peeved right now with everything going on because it just seems very, very unfair. Like, all of a sudden, because somebody has darker skin, they're suddenly from Mexico or they're suddenly from another area other than the United States. I really just don't understand that. What's everyone's take on what's going on? I was watching the video recently and they went to go and spray a group of people with hoses and they were throwing tear gas at them simply for standing up and advocating for their rights. That's just wild to me. It kind of reminds me of, anybody remember a couple years ago when which they still have an ongoing problem in San Francisco with how the homeless were sleeping on the streets in front of the shops, and it would be like friggin' negative, like 30 degrees outside, like so freezing ass cold weather. If you know anything about San Francisco, it gets really chilly there. Even in the summertime, it can be really chilly in certain areas. And they would spray them with hoses to get them to move away from their shop doors so that they weren't sleeping in front of the shops on the street. But honestly, you got to ask yourself at the end of the day, if there is freaking, for every one homeless person, if there's 20 empty homes, why aren't we letting these people be in these homes? Why aren't we establishing programs for these people? Instead, we're spraying them with water and hosing them down because that's achieving something at the end of the day. I don't get it personally. Actually, let's turn off this light. Go outside where it's a little bit brighter outside. It finally cooled off a little bit. The weather has been so god-awful, unbearable, and now it's overcast and perfect outside. It gets up to 120 degrees in our area. How about you? Those of you who live in Florida, what's the weather like in Florida? Does it get super hot this time of year? Or is it kind of in between? Yeah, here before long, I'm getting ready to go and take my kids on a trip. I'm kind of excited, but it's been like very stressful. Everybody's trying to rush into the DMV and get those real IDs. So apparently, if you don't have your real ID, which is, if you live in the United States, you're going to know what I'm talking about. It's basically a driver's license with a bear in the top right corner and like some star. And when you go to the airport now, they're going through all this crazy shit. I kid you not. And when I say crazy, I mean like my mind blew up like a sponge when my husband told me this, who's military. You can't even use a military ID to prove your identity. No, they want this real ID, and then you stand in front of a machine and they take your picture now to make sure your picture matches your freaking real ID to prove that you are who you say you are. Because I guess they have a lot of shit going on. They're trying to keep terrorists out of the United States. It's kind of wild. So everybody's rushing around to get these real IDs so that you can fly. And you need them to fly even within the United States. But if you don't have your real ID, it makes it almost impossible to fly anywhere else either. What's everyone's thoughts and feelings on the real ID? I think, honestly, the real ID is just a scam. It's another way for kind of the government to monitor more people and try to get more of a grip on the freedom that we have or don't rather have. Because like I've said before, this ain't the land of the free. We have to work for everything that we have. There is nothing free about living here in America, paying taxes on money that's already been taxed, to be taxed again, and then go to the grocery store and be taxed on that money that was already taxed when they paid our payroll to pay us, and then have our paychecks taxed. It's wild. We don't live in the land of the free. We live in the land of the greedy and greedier. Like, people are very greedy in this day and age. And there's taxes on just about everything. And their monitoring systems for the airports and these real IDs, it's all getting crazy. I mean, you have cameras everywhere you go, in pretty much every store, pretty much every airport, even the DMV. It was wild. They had like 30, 40 cameras put up in our DMV while everyone was sitting in line getting their real IDs. There was no room to even sit down. You couldn't even stick out your elbows, like to elbow, to get around in the DMV because everyone was in there trying to get these real IDs. And they say that supposedly these real IDs are going to prevent terrorists from coming into our country by being able to properly identify people who might otherwise have obtained like false IDs or false identifications. So if you're not here legally, or if you're not who you say you are, basically there are consequences for that. And that's why they have these real IDs. Honestly, I don't think it's going to do anything. I mean, if people want to do stuff, they're going to do stuff regardless of the government putting these real IDs into effect. That's just my opinion. But I don't know. I don't know if other countries have to do these same things. I just feel like we have to jump through a lot of hoops just to have this little bit of freedom. So we get an inch while the government gets a mile. Make that make sense to me. It's wild to me. It's wild to me. Thank you. Yeah, it's the evil eye. It's the evil eye. This was actually given to me by one of the monks that teaches me meditation. I believe in kind of opening up your third eye and spirituality versus religion. I feel like spirituality is more like aligning with, the universe and the universal energy and kind of being one and with nature and yourself versus religion, which is just a book created by man for people to hide behind and dictate how others live their life. So, because I think I see the same person in the comments from last night. They told me that Jesus loved me. I almost laughed at that. Yeah, I'm sure I'm number one on Jesus's list. I haven't gone to church in years. I have enough sin to burn a church down. No pun intended on that one. But unlike the people who go to church, I at least own what I do. And when I'm wrong, I apologize. And when I'm right, I stand my ground. I'm not doing too bad. Not doing too bad. Just sitting here and, oops, trying not to have a spider crawl up on my arm because I'm sitting outside and we have apparently a lot of spiders on this tree in front of me. And getting ready to watch the sunset. It's really pretty right now. It's overcast. There's a little bit of sun, but not much. It's getting ready to set and usually looks like cotton candy colored out here at night. Mostly came out to enjoy the last bit of sunlight and check on my plants. I have a tiny little garden out front on my porch. I love being outside. I love being one with nature. Anyone else like being out in nature and grounding yourself with the earth? If you didn't watch last night's live, you really should. Last night was kind of interesting. It went in a couple different directions, and so did the live from 2 nights ago. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, we try to maintain a pretty low-key, family-friendly atmosphere, so I try to kind of keep the comments clean um, and be low-key. That's the best way to be, And in 2025, there is just a lot of drama and unnecessary people that have low vibrational energy, and you just don't want to be around those people. They're toxic and they suck the niceness out of you. Oh. Yeah, like I said, it's the evil eye. So it's supposed to protect you from other people's bad energy, and that's why I wear it, because every day I work in sales. I'm an independent contractor. I'm also self-employed. Been running my own business now for about 15 years, but I come into contact with a lot of negative and toxic people every day. So I wear my necklace to ward off those people's bad energy. There would be a lot of people out there that will try to suck you down, like just suck down your energy and make you unhappy. And that's why you only want to surround yourself with high vibrational beings. And what I mean by that is people who have the utmost respect for you and basically are going out there and being the kind of light that you're showing to the world. Love, peace, kindness, respect. People that don't take advantage of you, that don't wait until you fall on hard times to say that they were there for you. Like real people versus fake people, they're totally different. Real people, they're always going to be there whether you have money and whether you're at like the top or you're like down here. They're always gonna be there for you. And fake people, they're gonna be there when you're doing good, but when you start struggling, suddenly they don't care, they don't want to be there, and they definitely don't want to hear about it. Fake people only want to be there when the good stuff is happening so they can take all the credit and say that they were there for you, and then when shit gets real, they're not there for you. That's not a real person. That's fake. That's not a real friend. That's not a high vibrational being, and that's not the kind of person that you want to surround yourself with. And I say that because like I don't really have a great relationship with my mom. because she goes to church and she uses her Bible as a way to like kind of hide behind her fear and her religion about how I should live my life. And so I maybe see her once a year when I bring my kids down to see her. But I don't even talk to her because she thinks that she's better than me because she goes to church 1 day a week and sins 6 days a week, but then has the right to come in and tell me how to live my life as if my life isn't the best possible life. No, you know, I might not be rich. I might not be extremely successful in the ways that she wants me to be, but that's okay. I'm successful in my own ways. I'm married. I'm a mom. I have, you know, friends everywhere I go because I'm kind and I talk to everybody. You could be homeless and I'll still talk to you. You respect me, I respect you. And that's just kind of my mentality. I'm not going to look down on you because you're homeless. Shit, I've been homeless and it sucks. You know, but I got to where I am now and my life is stable and it's successful. I'm successful in the ways that are meaningful to me. And if anybody in the comments is struggling right now with somebody seeing their self-worth, just know you're not alone. People really do suck. They really do. And most of the time, that's why, other than when I do lives to chat with you guys, I prefer to be alone. Because people suck. People suck, and they can negatively impact you, your health, physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, financially. So you just kind of have to recognize low vibrational people for what they are. Low vibrational people. They're toxic. Well, currently I am in school to be a CNA because I want to help people. But right now I just kind of run my own business. I work from home. I make jewelry. I make jewelry and I take a lot of just different things and I recycle them into new things. And then I turn around and resell them. What tattoo? This one? This one? Or this one? Oh yeah, that's you're talking about this one. That's Pikathor. It's Pikachu from Pokemon dressed as Thor, and it says "I Thor you" in Viking runes. Instead of a play on words, instead of saying "I love you," it says "I Thor you," because he's got Thor's hammer up here on the top. I sat for several hours to have the person tattoo me. It's a little tattoo shop in Ohio. This piercing right here, it depends. I mean, on what your pain tolerance is. And I say it depends on what your pain tolerance is because did this hurt? No. Did that hurt? Did that hurt? Yes. That scar right there, that scar hurt. This? No, this didn't hurt. It feels like if you've ever been stung by a bee on the lip. I've only had it happen one time. Let me just say, not a good thing. I'd be looking like Kendall Jenner over here with lip injections when the bee stung me. No, it hurt for maybe like about 10 seconds, but I also have a high pain tolerance, so it didn't really hurt. I do recommend, though, if you're thinking about a piercing, make sure that you have a high pain tolerance and make sure that you eat before you go, because when they did it, I did almost pass out. So I guess I had low blood sugar at the time when they tried to pierce my lip, because they're actually using a needle to go through your lip. So it's piercing through the skin. It's a sterilized surgical steel needle. I think it was about an hour and a half, 2-hour appointment, because they set up everything, they sterilize everything, they're opening new equipment, they're cleaning your mouth, and then they're disinfecting the table that you're going to sit down on. But yeah, I was whiter than Casper milk toast. Well, I didn't exactly, I didn't exactly have my mom's permission. I got mine when I was 16, but not that I recommend doing this, wink, wink, but I had somebody pretend that they were my mom, and they went with me, and they also wrote a letter, and so I got my my lip pierced behind my mom's back. So that's what I did. It's kind of hard convincing parents about lip piercings, but I will say this, don't do it yourself, because there are nerve endings in your lip and around your mouth area. And if you pierce it yourself and you don't know what you're doing, you can paralyze your lower mouth. I actually had a friend who pierced her lip by herself, and she ended up like paralyzing part of her mouth and had to have surgery. So go to a professional. Go to a professional person. I went to a professional shop. I want to say it ran me right around like $180. And that's not including the jewelry. With the jewelry, I was looking at around $200 just for this. And they always put in a bigger piece. About after a month, maybe, you can take it out and put a smaller piece in. But with the jewelry and the piercing, you're probably looking at between like $180 to $200. And that's if you go to a legitimate person that actually knows what they're doing. There's all these piercing shops, and not all of them know what they're doing, like Claire's. I'm in college, so yeah, I know I look younger than I am, but I'm actually like 37 years old, so they really can't say squat to you when you're in college. Shoot, don't try and sting me, stupid bee. I went to a public school, and they pretty much don't really have any rules, so I was able to do whatever I wanted. I mean, at one point, I had like a dang mohawk up here, so I would never encourage anybody to sneak behind their parents' back and get a piercing, but you know, do whatever makes you comfortable. It's your body, and you're only young once. The only thing I actually have ever pierced on my own is, I don't know if you can see this up here. This, I got an oversized earring in it right now because it's a little swollen. But I pierced this up here, and then at one point I had my nose pierced, and I did that myself. That one's actually easier if you're piercing that one, to do that yourself than to go to a professional. And all I did was numb it with ice, put a apple at the bottom, and then pierce a needle straight through. And then I stuck a stud in it until I could go out and buy one. Now, I don't really recommend doing those things unless you have proper sterilization equipment. Yeah, most days I actually get people asking me if I'm 12. What am I doing shopping in the grocery store by myself, and where are my parents? Which is kind of hilarious. No, if you eat good food and you take good care of yourself and you don't eat processed junk, dyes, artificial crap, and you take care of your body, it will reflect in your skin and basically overall like body image. Sometimes it can even make you appear younger than you are when you take care of your body. When you don't, it feels like you've aged 10 years in, 3 months. Sorry, I have two squabbling birds in the tree above me. No. Well, it depends on if you're talking about American mafia or like an Italian mafia. They can be full of good and bad people, and that's a stigma that everyone has against people with piercings, that they're bad people or they're rough people. Truthfully, some of the nicest people I know actually have tattoos and piercings, and they're amazing and incredible and wonderful people. That's just a really bad stigma that your parents have. Your parents must be old school. Don't worry, my mom was very old school and hardcore in her beliefs. I couldn't get my piercing until I snuck behind her back and got it. Also, she's so old school, she just got her first tattoo at 61 years old. So, there you have it. Yeah, I can't see without these. These are actually my new prescription. I thought about getting contacts, but then after reading that story about the girl who fell asleep with the contacts in her eyes, um, and ended up going blind. I'm good. I'm good. I'll wear glasses. No, I can't see more than 10 feet in front of me without these babies. They are my eyes, essentially. I don't know. I always say do within reason, if you're still living on your parents' roof, do what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy. I mean, all of my tattoos have a story, so they're not just random tattoos. Like this one. This one's my anniversary date. And it says caught on, and it's in Viking ruins. The joke is that I'm the Pokemon that my husband caught. So, yeah. And then we got matching, like I said, matching tattoos on our birthday. Because I always have felt like Thor, even though he's a fictional character, is a strong and powerful and protective person. And so this tattoo basically essentially symbolizes me being comfortable with my feminine energy and being a strong and protective person towards my kids and my family. And that's what that tattoo is. Now this one, however, short story behind this one is Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, with Star Wars inside of it, Yoda, and he's meditating. And that is because I really love old school, like classic vintage music, like real classic music. And I also like Star Wars, and I also like meditation. So it's a combination of me expressing myself through the things that I like. I also have a tattoo back here and a tattoo back here. On a different day when I have my husband available, I will show you. I have a Playboy bunny on the shoulder. It's all in rainbow. And then I have a, which again just symbolizes my being okay with my feminine energy, which a lot of men are not okay with women's feminine energy because they can't handle that women can handle their own and may not need, a man, that they're strong enough to basically hold their own hand, as Miley Cyrus said it, and buy themselves flowers. You don't need no crusty ass crop dusting man that can do all the things that you can do for yourself. You need a man that can do things for you that you can't do for yourself. My opinion, though. And then on this side, I have a orange and black monarch butterfly, which signifies new life. I've always thought butterflies signify new life, and it's also in remembrance of my best friend Dustin, who ended up having a seizure and dying in his sleep. So that's he's with me in spirit. We used to love photographing butterflies and just different historical headstones together in the cemetery. And so the butterfly is in memory of him. Oh, how do you deal with teachers who are into favoritism? That's kind of a hard one. I used to do a sucky blue-collar 9-to-5 job, and I always just had to go to work, clock in, and put my head down because our boss, unfortunately, had favorite people. And so the favorite people got the better shifts, got pay raises, got whatever. That even happens in the adult world. There really isn't a way around that, other than you can privately express your concerns in a respectful way to the teacher. I highly recommend using Chat GPT. Chat, the letter G, the letter P, the letter T. You can find that on Google. It's the first thing at the top of the Google search engine when you search it, and use it to help you as a tool to write a letter to your teacher expressing your feelings. Because a lot of teachers unintentionally will start doing favoritism without even realizing it. And so maybe she just needs a respectful reality check, him or her. And then some teachers, their heads are really up there, if you know what I mean. And they do have favorites. And unfortunately, there's not really a whole lot you can do about that. Just shine your teacher on. Be the best person you can be, and don't let others' toxic energy bring you down. Really. And we spend so much time. You should read the book called The Let Them Theory. Lettheory. I forget who the author is, but everyone's talking about it on Facebook and YouTube and TikTok. I'm 2 chapters deep into this book, and it has been life-changing. We spend so much of our time trying to control others and what we think others should be doing with their life, and focusing on others, that we forget to focus on ourselves and to be happy with ourselves. So somebody could have a favorite, and let them. At the end of the day, they can have a favorite person. Let them. Does it really deep down, does it bother you? Or is it something deeper that's bothering you than the favoritism? Yeah, we all, at the end of the day, we all want to be somebody's, favorite. Like I said, I'm not at the top of Jesus's favorite list, but, I'm still going to be me at the end of the day. Honestly, people suck. They really do. I hate to say that. People suck. I've gone my whole life realizing that people suck, and nobody's perfect, but people do the best that they can do. And those are the kind of people that you want to hang out with, the people that really come forward and be like, yeah, I screwed up, and they're willing to make things right. The people that are with you through the good times. Sorry, I have like a peeling sunburn on my back, so I'm going to keep scratching because nothing I do is making it go away. I've been burned for like a week. I look like Larry the Lobster from SpongeBob. No offense, Larry, if you're listening. But yeah, I get sunburned. I don't tan. I'm not tall. I'm 5'3". I'm not tall at all. I've been this tall since I was 12. The joke is that I've been a midget since I was 12, but technically midgets are even shorter than me. Midgets are under 4 feet. And they don't like being called midgets. They actually like being called dwarfs or short people. You don't know you're being insulting until you get kicked in the ass by a midget. And if you've never had that happen, I will tell you it does not feel good. I literally got kicked in the ass by a dwarf, a short person, because I used the term midget when describing them, and they went Donkey Kong on me. So I learned to humble myself and be more respectful, regardless of whether someone's, 7'4" or whether they're 3 feet tall. Just respect people. And, if you're in school, I just want to get back to this person's comment down here that I see. I'm not sure. Is it Fatima? Is that how you say your name? Teachers are going to be teachers. They are overworked and underpaid. Teaching is the most critical job that you can ever do from the time you enter 1st grade through 12th grade. And students say things about them, say nasty things about them on chat boards and different websites like social media, and they make these teachers out to be these bad people. But in reality, teachers, it's very humbling to be a teacher. They work hard to have you prepared for life, so that when you leave that 4-sided wall or those classrooms that you're in for 12 years, they prepare you for the real world. They may never see you again. I think I've seen my teacher maybe twice since I graduated high school. I've been out of high school almost 20 years now. I know it doesn't seem like that long ago. We're literally coming up on our 20-year high school reunion. Mind you, I never went to a single one of them. I never liked anybody that I went to school with except 5 people. And that's because I don't mess with low vibrational people. So all of high school, I had the same 5 friends. All of middle school, I had the same 5 friends. So all my life, I've had like 10 friends. Now that doesn't mean that, I don't know a lot of people. I don't have a lot of friends. I just know a lot of people, and I talk to everybody. You're cool with me, I'm cool with you. Let's see. Yeah, that can be tough. I ran into the same problem when I was in high school. I had a teacher that would always scold me, and I would work very hard every single day, and she would scold me no matter what, or she'd send home like letters to my mom saying I was doing things that I wasn't doing in class. And it's like a lot of times the studies that we were doing weren't challenging enough. And so I'd get bored and I'd start like, drawing abstract things in class or like writing poems in class because I was bored. I would finish the assignments before the other people. Not saying that, like, oh my God, I'm superior and my IQ is up here or anything like that. Like I don't have no 120 IQ, but I obviously don't have a low IQ either. So I would finish these assignments like really fast, and then I would just do other things, and she would send notes home to my mom, telling my mom that she thought I wasn't being productive in school. And I always thought that my teacher was like the biggest bully to me when I was in high school. And there was nothing that I wouldn't do, whether it was playing hooky, trying to skip school, trying anything to get out of this teacher's class, because she was always mean to me. And then after I just barely graduated high school and got my diploma, I had to bust my hind end, and I had to make myself go to summer school twice to graduate. I realized only then could I see the light at the end of that tunnel, and that was that she just wanted me to be successful and not throw my life away because I was a really smart person. And she didn't want to see me throw my life away, because there's a lot of people that will, go to middle school, go to high school, and then they get involved in drugs, alcohol, gambling, all these things that happened on our campus. And most of them ended up pregnant at 16, not even graduating. And so she didn't want to see me throw my life away like some of these people that I knew who made it to freshman year of high school and were pregnant. That's crazy. Teacher doesn't sound like she has very many kind words to say to you. And what I will say to that is the same thing I told my teacher in high school. Respect is not just given because you were a teacher. It is earned. So if you give me respect, you have my respect. But I'm not just going to respect you because you have a degree that says that you're a teacher. And I think parents these days have it all wrong. Like, you don't just give somebody respect because they're a teacher. I mean, I'm not saying to disrespect your teacher, but I'm not saying that you need to give them respect just because they are a teacher. Respect is mutual, and it goes both ways. If the teacher doesn't respect you, how does she expect you to respect her? I get so frustrated. Like, my kids are in school. My son's getting ready to go to high school next year. He just graduated 8th grade. My youngest is getting ready to go into 1st grade, and my second youngest is getting ready to go into kindergarten. And I actually just removed them from a charter school that they were going to because the charter school was basically coercing and grooming my children. And they were just not teaching my children in the best way possible. And things that I don't deem should be taught in the school were being taught to my children. I, at the end of the day, don't have a problem with how people live their life. Sorry if I seem like I'm gazing off into the distance. It's because I'm looking at the sunset as I talk to you guys. I love watching the sunset. I'm forever young and a dreamer at heart, so yeah. But I took them out of the school because the school was just not teaching them things that I thought were appropriate. However you want to live your life is up to you. Whatever your preferences are of who you want to be with, your partner, whether it's a man or a woman or whatever, I don't care at the end of the day. But I don't believe that it needs to be taught in the school system. And I'll probably receive a lot of hate for that, but that's just how I feel. Each person's sexuality is their own business, and it doesn't have any place in the classroom. And they try to bring a lot of that stuff into the classroom with kindergartners and 1st graders, and that's not appropriate. People don't really understand, honestly, I think, their sexuality until they start to hit like high school. And I mean, that's just how I feel. Oh, my kids just got back. But I don't agree with your teacher saying that you have bossy behavior. I just think that maybe she doesn't understand your personality. What's your astrological sign? Are you a Libra, a Cancer, a Gemini? Often different astrological signs don't intermix very well. You Pisces?
Guess what Dad gave us? I got a surprise
you have fun at the park?
Huh?
Did you have fun at the park?
Huh?
Did you have fun at the park? Or where did you go?
Not
What you got?
Kingdom in 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! That's what Dad gave us.
Oh.
They're not matching, but
Can I
they're
see?
both Pikachu. Mine's
That's
like
pretty cool. Look at this cool sticker.
Dad lives in a car, and
That's
she has.
Where'd you get the sticker from?
Dad.
Is that a Dutch Brothers sticker?
No.
No?
See?
I'm just messing with you. It would have a Dutch Brothers symbol on it.
Dad got it for militaries.
Oh. Let's say hi.
Hi. Look at my cool shoes. Nah, nah, nah,
Okay,
nah,
okay,
nah,
okay.
nah.
Don't get too close to the camera. She's coming back. Just say hi.
Hi.
Okay, not all the way up on the
I'm
screen.
Sean. What are you doing?
Okay.
It's my pet. This is my pet, Sean. Hi. What are you guys doing?
You're a
today?
Pisces. Yeah, I'm gonna guess that your teacher is probably a Cancer.
Whoa.
Pisces. Usually Pisces and Cancer don't really intermix well. What happened? Sorry. The splash pad was on and you wanted to go?
Yeah, both of us. And I,
Well, usually they close it at this time. I'm surprised that was on. Say hi.
hi.
Say hi.
Who is it?
It's the live from Mommy's YouTube channel.
Hi.
Hey, Maverick. Say hi.
This is Pikachu. Show it to some
Are you gonna show your sticker too?
She can't even see it.
Are they the same?
this. No.
Okay, let me see
Look.
yours. Oh, she's got a cool one too. Look at this.
Da, 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 da.
Okay.
You want to see this?
Okay. 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 I'll be in a second.
No,
Oh, okay, I'll be in a second anyway because the mosquitoes are coming out to feast on me like I'm a all-you-can-eat buffet. Apparently the mosquitoes like that good sweet blood.
Do that.
No.
Why?
Because
Are you not going to do it when I'm out here?
no, because inhaling secondhand smoke is bad for you.
I want to watch you.
No.
Why can't I?
I was trying to read what she said.
So my chicken won.
I'm reading this. Hold on.
This was my first
Wow. It sounds like
This was my first pack that we got today, and I didn't know I put it in my room.
that's fine. It sounds like your teacher's very narcissistic,
No, it was my
which
first
is unfortunate. It sounds like she is unwilling to hear what you have to say and only wants you to hear what she has to say. But it also sounds like she's very judgmental at the same time.
Why did
which
you
is not
get a
cool.
pack of chips? No, can I grab a pack of chips like her?
You can have a popsicle if you didn't have one already.
I did. I had a cotton candy otter pop, like a blue one already. And this one, remember? This one
Ask your dad.
open
Go ask your
for
dad.
otter pop.
Yeah, ask your dad.
Yay!
That's hard though.
That's not fair.
What?
Now we get something different.
Okay, and you've had how many things of chips today? 3?
No, this was my first
My ear.
pack.
My ear. You're talking so loud, it's in my ear.
This was my first pack that we got today when Dad wanted one.
I thought I only gave you the poofy ones,
No,
not the crunchy ones. Apparently they sell cheesy poofs and Cheetos. Apparently there's a difference.
I thought
They all look the same to me.
but it was in my room open.
Oh, okay.
I forgot that I put it in there.
I don't know. I just think that's unfortunate that your teacher is treating you like that. But hopefully she can get to the point where he or she, they recognize that you're doing what you need to do, but also at the same time, you're going to do what it is you want to do. 2 plus 2 is not 5, it is 4. Wow. I'm gonna say this, and I don't want anyone to take offense to this, but this is super true. You can have a degree and still be an idiot. You can have a degree, whether it's a bachelor's, an associate's, whatever, a degree, a pharmaceutical degree, and you can still be an idiot. Some of the smartest people I know have degrees, and they're still dumb as hell. My mom went to school to study how to be a claims adjuster, and so she has like a business degree. She's one of the smartest people I know, but she doesn't say the most smartest things at times. But I think we all get in that cycle of where we might not say things that are nice or respectful because we think that we're up here, and in reality, we're right here, but we think we're up here. Sounds like they have a big head on their shoulders. Hold.
That's funny.
What's funny? Go. Yeah, she couldn't get the door open. I guess the handle got stuck.
He sat on my chicken bike.
Okay.
Actually, Mom, he said this is for you.
Oh, it's okay. I have so many stickers, hon. I don't know what to do with them.
Put them everywhere on your purse.
I know that, but she is like that. She is like that. If I say it's 5, then it's 5, no matter what.
Do you want to go to the pool together?
It sounds like your teacher is just unwilling to accept that there are other alternative answers or other ways to get the answer, whether it's correct or not. It sounds like she thinks her answer is the only answer. And that's unfortunate. There are people like that that have a inflated ego.
Say hi to Justin. Lavender, why did you get the matching color?
That's unfortunate.
Can you push this up?
I have to remind myself a lot of times, humble yourself before the world humbles you. And what I mean by that is if you go, you might have to ask Genevieve for some help. If you don't be kind to others and you always think that you're right and everything's your way or the highway, the world will eventually come back to show you karma in the way of, life will fuck you with a cactus, so to speak. Like karma has a way of doing a 360. So if you're not kind to the world will not be kind to you. It may not be today or tomorrow, but it will catch up to you. Being evil and putting negative energy out there and saying bad things about people, it will come back to you. Whether in the form of being homeless, losing your job, becoming an alcoholic, having a gambling addiction, having, whatever, getting divorced, losing your kids. Karma has a way of coming back to you tenfold. Tenfold. So you always have to be careful about the catastrophic events chain reaction of events that you put out there, because everything that you put out there comes back to you.
No more in and out.
Yeah, don't go in and out. You're gonna let out all the cold air. Please.
Yep. These are mine. You can still let me have some.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I remember, growing up with my parents, I was forced to go to church. And my mom always said, it's okay to sin 6 days a week as long as you go to church on the 7th day and give 10% of your tithing to God, that it's just, everything's going to be okay. Unfortunately, that's not how the world works. I'm older now. I don't go to church. I haven't gone to church in years. And in fact, I totally don't even practice religion. I practice spirituality. Because spirituality, you're not hiding behind a Bible and you're not hiding behind words to where you can dictate whether or not someone's living their life the way you think it should be lived. At the end of the day, people are going to do whatever they're going to do, and sometimes we just have to let them. I really encourage everyone in the comments to check out the book, The Let Them Theory. It really is an amazing, life-changing book. Like I said, we spend so much of our time trying to control others or what we want others to do or how we want others to see us that let them. At the end of the day, let people be who they're going to be and be who you're going to be, because you're not them and they're not you. Yeah, people can be very, very nasty, and that's unfortunate. I recently tried to express to my mother how, I'll give you a quick story of something that happened. So my mom and I don't have a good relationship because I'm adopted. So she's technically my legal guardian, but not my biological mother. She is an adoptive legal guardian. And so, but I call her my mom because she has been the only mom I've ever known. Anyway, recently she got mad at me because I didn't tell her that I had a son, and my son's almost a year old. And she asked me why I didn't tell her. And I told her, I said, well, you were so rude the last 2 times I had both of my children that I didn't feel the need to tell you, because you never took accountability and you never apologized for how you previously treated me. So why would I tell you this time around? And she still never apologized for any of the things that she said. And so the old me would spend time going, oh my God, she didn't apologize to me. How evil. I need an apology. She should apologize. And then I would spend all this time going in this like loop of being mad at her. And then it didn't do anything, because essentially I gave her, unknowingly, I gave her that power by being mad and letting her words affect me. But in reality, how you take back your own power is let people be people. I know that's gonna suck and it's gonna hurt, but let people be people, because at the end of the day, as long as you're being kind and you're being respectful and you're being who you are, their actions are just a reflection deep down of who they really are. And they can say whatever they're going to say, but if you know who you are and you're comfortable and you own your masculine or feminine energy and you own who you are, that's really all that matters. It sucks going to school with teachers that are aggressive, overinflated egos and know-it-alls or pompous jerks. It sucks living with parents who think that they know what you're going through. Yeah, mom, maybe in the 60s and 70s you could relate or whatever, but now in 2025, parents have no idea the stressors that kids go through. Everything from, school to just kind of everyday situations. Hey, kitty. This is Sparkles. This is one of our stray cats. He comes to visit occasionally. He lives across the street. But people are going to be people, and don't waste any energy trying to change who they are, but take a mental note of they are showing you their true colors.
You can play with us if they want.
I find that talking to people does relieve a lot of pent-up frustration, because there are others that understand what you're going through. I have many, many disagreements with my mom. She's 61 years old, but she thinks she's wise beyond her words just because, she's had a few life experiences of her own. But she has no idea the things that I've been through or the hoops that I've had to go through to get where I am. Yeah, people can be like that. And sometimes the other thing is people get in this conundrum, the cycle, if you will, of being a certain way. And it's very hard for them to take accountability and to change who they are, because it's kind of deep rooted in them. And a lot of times that happens from people whose parents treated them the same way. So like if your parents are physically, mentally, psychologically, spiritually, just any which way you can talk about it, abusive to you, and they do this detrimental behavior, it kind of plays this like defective broken record tape on repeat in your mind. And then so you grow up being like that to other people, because it's trauma. Trauma is deep rooted, and if you don't take care of it, it can affect the way you have interpersonal relationships with other people. Yeah, I feel that. I had a friend and I used to tell her everything and I thought she understood me, but in reality, she was just pretending to be my friend to go on social media and share stories about my shortcomings and then laugh about it, because she was getting clout. When I say clout, she was getting money to make videos and talk about my personal business. And we're no longer friends. And that was like a 20-year friendship that I had with this person. So I completely understand. It's unfortunate that people pretend to be your friend and then later it comes out that they were never your friend at all. That does hurt. Oh yeah, she's telling me my cat's in the window, side-eyeing me because I have another cat out here that I'm petting. My cat's jealous. Go ahead, here. You got it? Don't let the other cat inside because I haven't given her flea medicine yet, okay? Yeah, there you go.
What about we watch nature?
Yeah, I have bad days, and there are days where I really have to kind of sit in an uncomfortable silence. And this is something that I did learn. So before you go to give somebody an answer on something, sit with the situation. It's okay to be mad. It's okay to have feelings. Don't not be mad. It's normal to have feelings of inferiority or aggression or want to, like, like get even or whatever with somebody. That's normal. But sit with those feelings and really just kind of think about it before you go talk to the person about whatever it is that's bothering you, because oftentimes if you sit in that uncomfortable silence with whatever that issue is, you can come to them, um, come back for that discussion at the table and have a better answer for them without maybe saying things that would be stooping to their level of hurting them. Yes, that does hurt. My mom used to do the same thing. She used to prioritize how the teacher would bully me over my own feelings, and she never took anything that I said into consideration. In fact, she didn't really consider much of what I said until it got to the point where I ran away from home. And then they found me taking a Greyhound. I don't know where I was going to go, but at the time, yeah, I was getting on a Greyhound and I was getting ready to run away from home. And they found me and they stopped me. And then when I told her what was going on, um, it ended up with me coming out telling my mom that I hated her because she ignored me a lot. And so I had a lot of built up resentment because we couldn't even talk about anything. And still, even at 37 years old, she doesn't call me. She doesn't take any calls from me. She doesn't call me. She doesn't come to see me. She'll text me occasionally, like 1 or 2 word answers, but I know exactly where you're coming from. I try to go out on a limb and have a relationship with her, and just some people, they're low vibrational people and they're not worth having the time of day to give them that energy of having a relationship with them, whether they're 4 hours away from you or a 15-minute drive from you. Sometimes you just have to kind of cut the umbilical cord of separation from those people that want to cause you harm, whether it's for your mental health or your physical well-being. There are always going to be people out there that will try to self-sabotage any situation because it gives them an adrenaline rush and it gives them a rise in power.
What did you plant in this?
What did I plant in there?
Yeah.
That is a peach tree that's growing in there.
Oh.
And the other one's bell peppers.
Bell peppers nothing.
I think that one's the bell peppers and that one's the peaches. My kid's asking me what I planted in a couple of my bowls because I have a couple plants out here. Yeah, California is in the United States. I'm from Northern California. Well, technically, I'm originally from Ohio, but I live in Northern California. The area where we live is not a great area to live, only because every single year, like 5 to 10, if not more, houses burn down from the wildfires. God, I think last year 4 or 5 houses burnt down, and then the year before another 4 or 5 houses burnt down. It's pretty bad. Yeah, my house actually burnt down in 2016 in the Tubbs wildfire when I lived down in Sonoma County. That was terrible. I ended up having to move back home and then ended up coming back out here to a different part of the States, and I regret it because it's so expensive. It's so expensive to live out here in California. The jobs are crap, the pay is crap, the jobs are crap, the employers are crap, the school systems are not that great. It's just everything's overinflated and extremely expensive. I would say if you can do anything this summer, grow a garden, because produce is getting expensive. I went to the supermarket the other day, $15 for a thing of tomatoes, and there was only 6 tomatoes on a vine, and they weren't even flavorful or anything. Everything getting expensive. Get chickens too. Have them lay your own eggs. Freaking $15 for eggs is crazy.
I'm planning the haunted car by Spider.
Yes, Northern California is in the United States. No, I don't judge anyone. It's not my place to judge anyone, regardless of their religion or their skin tone or anything like that. I'm a pretty open person. I don't judge people because what is judging someone going to do except make it to where you've created tension between you and another person for looks or for race or for where they live or for whatever religious practices. No. No, some of the coolest people I know have taught me things about their currency, where they're from, their culture. I embrace it. I embrace it. Everybody is beautiful and different in their own way, and that's what makes us all unique as people who share this earth together. I keep scratching. I think I'm allergic to my cat, something in my cat's hair, because I have literally been scratching nonstop around my face area because I like to cuddle my cat like a baby. Yeah, people are going to be people, and the best piece of advice that I can give, and it doesn't matter what age you are, is that let people be who they are. Don't try to change people, because when you try to change people, and if they do change, they're not changing because they feel like they need to change. They're changing because they got caught at the behavior they're doing, and they're not sorry. They're sorry they got caught. People who really care and see that they've hurt others will be willing to go the length to make the changes that they need to make. And if they're not, it's because they never cared to begin with. I'll give you another example. I've been married, I know I look 12, but I've been married 6.5 years, going on 7 in December. And I had a very, very open discussion with my husband the other day. And, it's sad to see a grown woman bawl their eyes out. But I sat there and I told him, I said, you say that when I express my feelings, that all I'm doing is yelling at you, but you're not hearing me and hearing how I feel. You don't ever listen to me, and we don't have conversations like we used to when we met. And I sat down and had a whole conversation with him. We talked for 3 or 4 hours, and then after I finished everything, he apologized to me because he knew that he had done wrong. And so we ended up talking about things, and a lot of things have changed in our life because of, it's not just us. Now we have not 1, not 2, not 3, but we have 4 kids. And so things have changed, sometimes some for the good, some for the worse, but we have to adapt and realize that it's not just about us anymore, whether you have kids or not. It's not just about you, it's about other people as well. Yes, you can go to that light post and come back. Yeah, I do have a couple tattoos on my back. Let me see if I can get my husband to show you. Hey, you guys, stay right here out front, okay? I'll be right back. Where are you at? Hey, question. Can you hold this? You need to stand up. And I'm trying to show somebody the tattoo on my back. So I need you to hold this. Yeah, stand up. But it's facing me. So I'm going to turn around so they can see. Let me adjust this. Okay. I don't know if you can see this. So Playboy Bunny is on this side. And the butterfly is on this side. This one's one commemorating my friend dying. And then this one is just me letting the world know that I'm okay with my own feminine energy. I don't know if you can see all those. Those are the 2 that I have on my back. Come here. Let me know if you saw that. If not, I can turn around again and have him do that. Uh-oh. Come here. Come here, my little bambino. This guy's going to come on live with me for a minute because he apparently wants mama.
Oh! Mom, you should see her. Mom, watch them. She can do something cool. Mom, show her. Mom, can she show you something?
Oh, yeah, behind me I had 2 recliners.
Walk. She walks. Now show her you walking. Mom, watch her walk.
Yeah, I try to be easygoing. So it wasn't so long ago that I used to be the kind of person that would try to spend all this time being mad and being fixated on like why people didn't like me, what people said hurt my feelings, yada yada yada. And then I realized I will spend so much time unknowingly.
I got you this.
Oh, that's pretty. Thank you, sweetie. She got me a little flower.
It's fun
Um,
and like it.
And so I'd spend all this time being angry and stuff. Let me put it over here. That way your brother doesn't try to eat it. So I'd spend all this time being angry with people and being upset with things that they said and going, oh my God, that's not true. Why did she say this about me on Facebook? Why did she say that about me on, TikTok, Instagram? And then after I started deleting like a lot of these social media apps, and started more focusing inward on myself and my own personal journey and growth for me, aside from my family, and then the growth and journey that I needed to make for my family, I started to care less and less about what people thought. Oh, thank you, sweetheart.
I keep buying some.
I started to care less and less what people thought. And I was giving people all this, like I said, unknowingly, all this energy over stuff that they said that was stupid. Like, one of the biggest things lately is my mom, I sent her a picture of me and my kids, and she called to ask me if I was just pregnant or fat recently. And now the old me would have gotten mad. So I told her, I said, yeah, Mom, I'm fat, P-H-A-T, pretty hot and tempting, And she didn't find it very funny, but I said, well, what were you expecting? Like, she doesn't keep tabs closely on my life, so I'm not really going to tell her stuff. I pick and choose what I tell her. But I don't care. It wasn't so long ago that I used to not wear, crop tops or whatever because of my mom bod. After just having this little guy who is basically just a month shy of being a year old. But honestly, be comfortable with who you are. Who cares? I'm a plus size chick, and you know what? I love every inch of my body. I love all of my kids. None of them were a mistake, and I love each and every one of them. I don't care what people think. Yeah, I got some junk in the trunk. I got a big booty, but you know what? I don't care. Love yourself. Love yourself and live your best life. Haters are gonna hate. It's like we say in the YouTube community, haters make us famous. People are gonna hate, and who cares? What do you mean by that? Name a car for an edit. What do you mean by that? My daughter's down here picking flowers in the grass. Yeah?
Yeah, for your fun.
She wants me to make flower chains with them. I hate to tell her that she's picking them too short for that. But yeah, people are going to be people, and there's really, ultimately, no matter what we say or do, there's nothing that we can do to change how people are going to act. So if people are sitting there being pathological liars, making up stuff about you, all we can do is just know in our hearts that we're not whatever they're saying about us. And just take back our power, our time, our energy, and stop caring what other people think. Because some people have their heads so far up where the sun don't shine, that's all they see. And obviously those people are very, very insecure about themselves. They can't handle their own masculine or feminine energy. And so their way of making themselves feel better is to chastise and put other people down. Unfortunately, people are wild, People are wild. Yes, people do body shame others and expect respect. And that is why I always tell people, you don't need to go to a gym to get fit. You used to spend $24.99 a month, so basically $25 a month, to go to Planet Fitness and have people creep on me at Planet Fitness and turn up their nose and call me Miss Piggy from the Muppets and all kinds of stuff, And it really just shows those people's insecurities, to be honest. Mosquito on my arm. People are very insecure. But if you own your masculine, feminine energy and own who you are, nothing anybody can say or do will bring you down. No one can make you feel inferior without your permission. Look that quote up. If you ever seen Princess Diaries, you know what I'm talking about. We allow people to have this energy over us by allowing people to make us angry, by allowing people to make us upset, by allowing people to kind of mentally tear us down or make us not feel good enough about who we are. But instead, what if we flipped the tables on them? What if we took back our energy and just said, you know, I'm sorry that you feel the need to put people down, but I'm gonna walk away. I'm gonna walk away. Then they're left with their mouths hanging open. There's nothing else really that they can say. We give people too much of our time and our energy, and they jump on it. And some of these people do not deserve any time or energy. They don't deserve the time of day. Snip. Cut the umbilical cord. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. He got all excited. Did you hear him? You know, people will act like your friend to your face and be shady behind your back. And those are low vibrational people. And they're everywhere. Low vibrational, toxic, dark, negative, evil, malicious people, whatever word you want to use, fill in the blank. But they're everywhere. They're everywhere. I spent a lot of time kind of just keeping to myself with my family, you know, kind of working, saving. But horrible, rotten people, scums of the earth, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. And there's really nothing that we can do about it. That's the sad part. There's really nothing we can do about it except be better. When I say be better, I mean ignore them. It's hard to ignore people, but they want that reaction from you. And when you don't give them that reaction, then they're not getting what they want. And they move on. Sounds crazy, but my results are in a few days. Please pray. But our parents' expectations are destroying our mental health than anyone else. Results for what, if you don't mind me asking? Yes, people's words can be detrimental, and they can, as someone who was going to school to study to be a social worker, words can mentally break people down and spiritually break people down. It's what is the word? I want to use a different word because YouTube will censor me, but I can't think of another word, so shit, I'm just gonna say it. People will mindfuck you. And what I mean by that is people will look for the things that they know, the skeletons in your past, and they will bring them up like word vomit and hurt you repeatedly over and over and over again. My mom lives in the past about who I used to be. You know, she doesn't realize that not only am I not homeless anymore, but I have my own life. I'm physically, mentally, financially stable. I put my own food on the table. I don't stand in line at a food bank. And if you do, there's nothing wrong with that. If you're providing for your family, you're providing for your family. I don't shun people who go to food banks, and neither should my mom, considering she spent a lot of time volunteering at one. It's shameful. But people spend a lot of time, sitting there trying to make all these changes, thinking, oh, if I do A, B, and C, I do 1, 2, and 3, this person's gonna love me more. They're gonna change. They're gonna see me. People don't give a crap. They don't care. People know when they're hurting you, they know they're hurting you, and they don't care. Some of those people are narcissistic abusers. They know full well what they're doing, and they don't care. They don't care at all. And it's really unfortunate, and that's why we have to just, huh?
Can I go
Ask Dad.
Ask her home.
Ask Dad. Ask Dad. If Dad says yes, then I'm okay with it. But you don't want to stay up too long. Hey, you guys have daycare tomorrow, so not too late, okay? Ask Dad. Ask Dad. If he says yes and her mom says yes, then I'm okay with it. But don't go nowhere else. Sorry, kids. So in the end, I mean, people can say whatever they're gonna say, and yes, it does mentally. What?
He said yes, Mommy. Yes, he did.
Okay, I'm gonna go in and verify.
No.
Sorry, I have to verify something because my daughter kind of likes to storytell. We don't call it lying because she's not old enough to understand, so I'm gonna call it storytelling. Hey, hon, did you tell her she could go to Zoe's house?
No, I said no.
Okay, no, she came out and just told me you said she can go to Zoe's house.
I did not.
Okay.
I'm tired of coming in and out.
Okay.
I want to.
Okay. Hold on a second. Hey, I don't care if you go, but you can only stay over there for a little bit, okay? Hey, you can go over there till 8:15 and then you need to come back as long as her mom says it's okay. Okay? Nowhere else. Sorry. The kids like having play dates. We have very few kids in our apartment complex because most of them have moved out. Just due to downloading different apps and finding out that we have people that were, well, predatory people that prey on children that live here. And now those people are gone, but people with kids refuse to move back here. Sorry, Liz. My kids wanted to go play with the neighbors. But at the end of the day, what you need to realize is people get a rise out of you. And the past is a place to visit. It's not a place that you should be living in. If someone is living in the past about how you used to be when you were like 12, 15, 16 years old, and you're like 30, 40 years old, screw them. Screw them. Like, as the Italian people say, you know, get rid of those bad people. You don't need them in your life. If someone isn't there to support you for the long haul, get rid of them. Whether they're friends, family, whether they blood or not. You know, I have I have two sisters and two brothers. And I don't talk to either of them. And it's not to say that I'm a bad person, but I don't support people that are family that badmouth the rest of their family. I just don't support that. I don't support it if you're a friend either. You shouldn't be talking bad about anybody. You should be worrying about yourself and staying in your own lane. The world is a beautiful place with so many beautiful, vibrant, high vibrational people that the people that see that are the people that are high vibrational beings like us. And low vibrational beings will never accept that people change because they're in that mindset of being who they are. And often those low vibrational beings are that way because of physical or mental or psychological abuse in their adolescence, whether it be from parents, teachers, or whatever. And there is no, sometimes there is no rhyme or reason. Some people are just that way. They might even have a chemical imbalance in the way that their brain works, as in a mental illness. And I don't say that to stigmatize or be rude to anybody. It's just, unfortunately, it's the way some people are. I want to take you guys to the back here where I live and let you see this incredible view of the lake as the sun is setting. That's why I'm walking. And I'll also say this. If you have ADHD, you have a superpower. People often think people with disabilities should be cast out from society because they're a freak or they're different or whatever. Nah, you're beautiful. I have ADHD, and a lot of people don't know that. And I'm still an incredible and fucking awesome person with a lot of love to give. And I have a lot of advice to share. Look at this beautiful view behind me. There's the sun reflecting off the water. There's the mountains behind me, not covered in snow. Usually they are, but look at this. How beautiful is that? Isn't that view amazing? It's a lip piercing. It's so that you can cast your fishing pole out and go shh and reel me in. No, just kidding. It's a lip piercing. I like to make jokes. Yeah, it's a lip piercing that I got when I was 16 and I kind of regret it. And the reason why is, can you see that right there? There's a little gap starting to form between the middle of my teeth because of the fact that the metal ring ends up rubbing up on the teeth and the enamel, causing a gap. So I'm going to be taking that out this week. Anyway, what did everyone think of that view behind me? That was beautiful, right? I cannot wait. So as the sun goes down tonight, I cannot wait for those cotton candy colors to pop up in the sky. If I have one wish for everyone that is with me in the live right now, it is that you all have a vibrant, amazing, peaceful week filled with kindness and love and respect. That being said, do not be afraid to stand up for yourself and tell somebody if they're being an arrogant piece of crap. Word it differently if it's your boss, but don't be afraid to tell someone to take their head out of their ass. Some people need to be reminded to humble themselves. Look at that, isn't that beautiful sunset behind me? Oh, lovely. I gotta go get this car off the sidewalk. My kid left her little cozy coop toy out here, and the landlord gets kind of anal about us leaving stuff out on the sidewalk. So I have to be careful. I want to take a few minutes to open this up to any questions you might have before I wrap up the live. You've all been incredible. Everyone that's joined us, all the questions that you've asked. I'm sorry for all the hardships that everyone's going through right now. People do kind of suck. Well, they don't kind of suck. They suck. We'll just put it out there. People suck. I live in a little area called Redding, California. It's in Northern California. One thing that people don't know about me is I actively work with a couple different groups restoring headstones in the cemeteries. Like, I like to go and find old, kind of cracked, beaten up, dirty headstones and clean them up and piece them back together and tell the story. Are you saying hello to everyone too? Yeah. Yeah. I also really enjoy, this is a perfect area if you like hiking. I really enjoy going out and like photographing like old architecture of like old buildings, like, because this used to be a gold mining town where we live. And so you'll find a lot of different interesting things, Japanese pottery and whatnot in our area, buried like, or even sticking out of the ground on hikes. So it's kind of fun. But yeah, I don't come outside very often in the evening because all the mosquitoes are out. So I'm actually out here enjoying this beautiful weather because it's not 120 degrees for once. Normally, I will go out and I'll do like 8 miles a day just walking. So 8 miles a day is equivalent to 16,000 steps a day of walking if you do a pedometer. Oh. Oh, my kid. What kind of hobbies do y'all have? Anybody collect anything interesting or have any interesting hobbies? I know one person yesterday in the live was saying that they had a bug collection, which I thought was kind of cool. For a long time, I don't anymore unless it's butterflies, but for a long time, I used to have a preserved dead bug collection. I know that sounds weird, but I mean, I used to have some really cool like beetles and like butterflies that I would find, of course, already dead on the ground, and then I would preserve them like in epoxy resin. Ouch! Ouch, 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 ouch. Nope, 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 nope. You're gonna rip my ear in half. Okay, hold on. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Oh, he's gonna do that. He's after my earrings. Look at these. These are my absolute favorites. I would be devastated if he broke these. I'm gonna take the other one out too, so that way he doesn't break it. Here, let me show you guys. Look at these. They've got moons, and then they've got a little crystal in the middle. Isn't that cute? I did not make these. These are one of my favorites, though. You can purchase them at like Spencer's. It's a little gag gift store that also makes jewelry. Mwah. Mwah. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Ma, ma, ma. Is that going to be your first word, not dinosaur? I'm interested to see when he actually learns to start talking what his first word was going to be. My other daughter, her first word was unicorn. Just one day, she just got up, stood up, started walking, walked over to me and was like, unicorn. So, hey. So I am going to share a funny story before I kind of wrap up, since it seems like nobody has any questions. So funny story of the day if you have kids. Like, so I don't know if I should tell this or not, but it's so good. It's, you know, when you have a good story and it's so good not to tell it, but it's also like, should I tell it because what will the internet say? Huh? Go take it inside. Tell your sister it's time to come back. It's 8:15. Okay? So we, every once in a while, will go as a treat to like Starbucks because they're really expensive. For whatever reason, my husband just loves hot chocolate. Nothing else, no caffeine, no coffee. How do you not like coffee? I don't know. I love coffee. I can't start my day without coffee. So we go and I get my little, I don't even remember what I got, like a blended frozen drink, and he gets his hot cocoa. And I guess it was not hitting him great that day. And his stomach started making all kinds of noise, and we hit every red light between our house, the coffee shop, and our house. And what? Yeah. You want a few more minutes? Is she still outside? You want a few more minutes? Is she still outside? Okay, 8:30. 8:30, okay? 15 more minutes. Oh, sorry. So we were hitting every red light between the Starbucks and our house, and he was basically praying to the porcelain gods that he would make it home before he had an accident. And he decided to turn on the seat warmer, I guess, to kind of relax him. And as he's relaxing, mid seat warmer, I'm like, what's that smell? And all of a sudden I hear this, and I kid you not, this man had literally sprayed everywhere. And so all over the windows, and I'm like, you're cleaning this up. Like, he had sprayed shit all over the windows, all over the seat, all over the floor. He had to shit himself from Starbucks hot chocolate. And I literally had to, we were about 5 minutes from the house. I literally had to get out and walk home because I was trying not to gag. I mean, it was such an obscene crime scene. It was worse than changing a newborn's diaper who, took their first diaper poop. It was bad. And anyway, he like crapped all over the car while we were driving. It was horrible, and I feel bad for like saying this, but he was out there spraying and cleaning and spraying and cleaning and trying to clean this up, and it was just like, oh my god, sorry, my eyes are starting to water telling this, but yeah, it's not funny when it happens to you, but at the same time, it's kind of funny. Yeah, he had crapped himself from having hot chocolate. So I made him clean the car, and we had to spend like a week spraying and cleaning to get the smell out of the car. And it was awful. It was awful. So the lesson we learned is don't drink Starbucks hot chocolate, or don't drink any hot chocolate for that matter, because apparently it does not agree with him ever. I can't say that I've ever had that happen to me, but it was pretty awful. I'm only human, and that's why we have some of the greatest comedians, is because they can tell kind of jokes. And yes, most jokes that comedians make are at the expense of other people, and that's why the world is funny and quirky and different. I'm not saying this to embarrass my husband, but the funny part is that, so my daughter goes to school the next day, and this was like the day before school let out for the summer, and she tells the teacher at story time they get a choice to bring in a stuffed animal or whatever, or share a story from their weekend. So she tells the entire class, my dad drank hot chocolate and had explosive liquid diarrhea shits all over the car, and I thought we were all gonna die. And the teacher calls me. I didn't answer because I'm literally waiting for her to go to school and tell this story because she just has no filter. Children have no filter. And school calls me. I send them the voicemail. They call my husband. He three-ways it, and I'm listening to the school tell him, we just want to let you know that your daughter came to school telling us you had an obscene explosive blowout in your car and you had sprayed everyone with diarrhea from hot chocolate. And we would appreciate it if you could have your daughter refrain from using bad words in the classroom to describe your explosive hot chocolate incident. And the teacher was trying not to laugh as she was telling him this, and I'm laughing. And she's like, who else is there? And I said, oh, my husband three-wayed the call so I could listen in because I'm sorry, it's just too good not to listen into this. And she goes, I said, I was there. We had been cleaning the car for 2 weeks. And she's like, well, your daughter can't be telling this story at school. And I said, kids have no filter. I already told her not to tell the story. And, you know, she's going to do what she's going to do. I can't stop her. And the teacher was laughing, and then she had the audacity to ask him if he was okay, and then also told him don't drink hot chocolate from Starbucks no more, because he was the talk of the entire first grade at my daughter's school, and now they refer to him as hot chocolate poopy pants at my daughter's school. What is the cause of the redness or black color in your chest? I think that's just the way it looks on camera because it's not as light out here. But I also have varying colors on my skin because I've been getting really toasty the last couple weeks out in the weather because it gets up to 120 out here. So I don't tan, I burn, and I just go from white to red to white to red. And I'm completely burnt and peeling everywhere from laying out in the sun for not even 20 minutes. But I didn't apply enough sunscreen, and so I got burnt. So hence the varying colors on my skin. Huh. You ready to go inside? He's so funny. He's got 2 teeth coming in on the top, 2 coming in on the bottom, and he's just a little biter lately. Yeah, I feel you. I can't sit on the grass without a blanket because I break out from whatever they spray on the grass. They treat our grass, because there's a lot of weeds here, with chemicals, and so I massively break out from the grass if I don't have at least 1 or 2 blankets on the grass. Even the sand, when I go to the beach, I'll break out because in most of the beach areas they have sand fleas, and I'm very allergic to the sand fleas, so I break out too. The other day, you guys missed it. So about 2 weeks ago, I got bit by a spider, and my eye was swelled up grotesquely like Popeye. Have you ever seen the cartoon Popeye? Popeye in olive oil. Yeah, I was completely swelled up like Popeye from getting bit by a spider on the face. What you doing? You're not playing with your friend anymore? Okay, I don't bring any more stuff outside.
No, I found a crystal.
Oh, outside? That's a milky quartz crystal. Yeah, those ones are common in this area. Hey, are you gonna take the ball back inside, please? Hun, I don't. Oh, I do? Okay, thank you. Oh, I do I? She's saying that I have an exercise ball. Usually when I'm working remotely from home. Oh, I told them they could play till 8:30 with a neighbor. But you want to come get him so I can get this ball rolled inside so it doesn't pop? Anyway, she's worried about me having my back curve and get scoliosis, which happens to your spine when you don't have good posture and or you sit for too long. They're at Zoe's house. I told them they could be there till 8:30. They came back and checked with me at 8:15. I told them they could be over there. Don't worry about it. Go take it easy. You're fine. They're okay over there. I trust the neighbors. He worries too much. They're fine. But here, can I give him to you? So yeah, she had me trying to sit on an exercise ball because she's worried about my back. Ouch. Try to find something to drink. It is too hot today. Hey, can you... Oh, never mind, I'll get it. I'm gonna get something to drink and my kid's talking to me outside. Yes?
Can I have...
Lavender, I'm not gonna stand with the door open.
Shoes,
Come in and get them. But you need to come back here in a few minutes, okay? You guys got 5 minutes, okay? 5, okay? 8:30, not a minute later, sweetie. Kids. Let's see, just get something out of here, out of my closet. Anytime I get something, I usually end up having to share it with them anyway. We all sat around and I made homemade, it's kind of hot for it, but I made homemade chicken noodle soup. Broke out my crock pot and threw everything in there and made it from scratch. And let me tell you, it was delicious. I was really craving chicken noodle soup. Ah, that's better. So it depends. Does the color red indicate an allergy? Yes and no. So you can also have, if it's hot in your area, you can also have a heat rash. So red can indicate a heat rash, which can disappear over a period of time. But it also depends on how big it is, where it's at on your body, and if it appeared only after you just ate or touched something. Like for me, I'll usually get like really bad eczema from sitting on the grass. So I have to be careful when I sit on the grass. I'm trying to plug this in really quick. So yeah, it would depend on, like I said, where your red is as to whether it's a rash, and it would depend on if you just ate or touched something. All kinds of people can have allergic reactions for all different reasons. Does anyone in the comments like poetry? If so, let me know. I would like to do a test run live tomorrow and read you guys a poem to get some feedback. So if anybody's interested, let me know. I'm going to be doing a live poetry slam coming up in a couple months where I have to speak in front of people, and I have extreme stage fright. So if you're in for it, let me know. I'm probably going to be live tomorrow around 10 a.m. California time. So if anyone's interested, stay tuned for that. I will be reading a poem that I wrote. I've been writing poems since I was 11. I don't know. I feel like poetry is a good release outlet. Get my pillow behind me here so I can just chill for a second. It's getting too hot outside. So what's everyone been up to? Everyone's out of school for the summer now officially. Can I give you a list of tattoos that I have, or tattoos that are good ideas to get? I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, about 5 tattoos, and I'm thinking about possibly getting another one when I go on vacation next month, but we'll see because I don't know how much the artist rates are now. I have a Pokeball for Pokemon. I have Pikathor tattoo. which is basically Pikachu dressed as Thor. I have a Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon with Yoda from Star Wars meditating inside of it. I have a Playboy bunny tattoo in rainbow colors just because I like the rainbow. And then I also have a monarch butterfly as well. Now, I will say if anybody in the comments is thinking about a tattoo, do yourself a favor and do not tattoo anyone's name to your body. Just don't do it. It's a bad idea. I just seen a video today where this lady got Dale tattooed across her forehead to surprise her boyfriend or husband or whatever. And then like a week later, this guy like cheated on her. So just don't do it. Don't do it. Even if you think the person is your soulmate, don't tattoo his or her name to you. Just don't do it. I have a best friend. It's a kind of chuckle, not kind of chuckle story. So he has, you know how like they used to have blackboards in classrooms, like chalkboards, and the teacher would write stuff on it. So he has a list of all these women's names that he dated or was married to. He's a guy who's been married like 4 or 5 times, this friend of mine. And so he'd go through and he would like cross out their names with a tattoo gun. And then some of them would be crossed out twice. And I'm just like, you know, it's just bad juju. It's just bad energy all the way around tattooing someone's name to you, especially if you're not 100% positive that that person is your soulmate. And yes, I do believe in soulmates. I'm kind of thinking I would like to get another tattoo, but this one would be to commemorate my dog that passed away about 4 years ago, whose name was Harley. I want to get a real life, I think that's what they call it, is a surreal tattoo, which basically looks exactly like either the real life person or the animal. And I want to get that of my dog with the fire hat. Tatted on him because he always used to like to go and sit on the fire trucks at these national night out events, and he would talk to the firefighters, you know, as dogs do. Very social dog. Yes, it's 8:30. It is 8:30. Why? I freaked you out. Why? Hon, I told you that I was coming inside to get something to drink. Not a big deal. Okay. I told you to come back to the house at 8:30. I said you're okay to go over there and play. I trust you. I trust you. Sometimes you got to have a little trust in yourself, too. I trust you, but you need to trust yourself. Kids, I want them to be monitoring themselves and also trust their self and their intuition too, not just me. And so I let them go play at the neighbors for 15 minutes, told them to come back and check in, let them go play for another 15 minutes, and then I told them at 8:30, you know, come back to the house. And I guess she got scared because I came inside to get water and didn't go back outside. And I thought, oh, she's going to be fine because I trust her. Well, I guess apparently she didn't trust herself, and she was all concerned that I left and like just left her by herself. You know, kid fears. But they're not irrational, but they are fears. My son's on the floor playing with a box. What's with kids and boxes anyway? So yes, I recommend, that is a good question. I do recommend checking out the, no, because you guys have, daycare tomorrow. So no, we're done for the evening, sorry.
You actually freaked me out.
Okay, I'm sorry. I do recommend checking out that book, The Let Them Theory. It is like I said, a life-changing book. It's very helpful. Like I said, I'm 2 chapters in deep. I'm getting ready to go into my 3rd chapter tomorrow. I read like 1 or 2 chapters every single day, and it is a tremendously helpful book about taking back the power that we give to others or allow others to have over us simply by choosing to be reactive or non-reactive to whatever the situation that's going on. I find that like when I just ignore how people are going to act, one, it doesn't give them the reaction that they were looking for, which is you to get upset. But two, I find that when you no longer give in to them and give them that power, they just leave you alone because you're no fun for them anymore. People only harass and pick on others when they are getting the reaction that they want. And a lot of those people are very, very insecure themselves. And it's hard. There are a vast number of reasons why people are insecure or unhappy with themselves or hate themselves or feel some type of way about their body. And so oftentimes they'll take all of that like pent up like darkness that's in here, and then they'll project it like a light bright onto other people. And it's unfortunate. They're not saying essentially anything about you. They're saying how they feel inside. And that's why they are the way that they are. So, for the people who just joined us, is everyone going to work, getting off work, coming home, having dinner? What are y'all doing?
Thank you, buddy. Thanks.
She's just being weird.
I want some milk.
Don't.
I said I want some milk.
Don't be saying that, okay?
I said I want some milk.
Okay, let's be appropriate, okay?
I want some milk. Hey, Mom!
Did you guys have fun?
Yeah. Who went swimming without us?
Who went swimming without you?
Zoe.
Now?
No, early.
Oh.
I really
Yeah,
wanted to go.
everybody, as soon as I come into the room to kick back and finish up the live, everybody comes in. Everybody wants a piece of Mom at the same time.
Dad, how did ice cream come without us?
Hun, stop. You don't need all that sugar.
I want an ice cream.
You know what's going to happen when you eat too much sugar? It's going to lead to parasites. And parasites come from all the food that you eat with the food and the dyes and the preservatives and the processed junk. And your body's going to be infested by parasites if you eat a bunch of junk.
They're long worms.
Yes,
That
they.
come out your
Yes,
butt.
that's tapeworm that you're thinking of. But yeah, I've been trying to educate my kids recently on parasites. So twice a year, the Chinese people will detox their body, and they do what's called a parasite cleanse. And the parasite cleanse basically detoxifies your body from all of the heavy metal buildups and from the parasites that live in our heavily processed foods that we eat that can affect our body.
Bully cat.
Please stop. Everybody wants some attention now that I'm on here videoing.
And you drink it up.
Okay, can you stop, please? So yeah, always do a parasite cleanse twice a year. There are several things that you can look up through Pinterest or Google. They even sell books on parasite cleanses, and I highly recommend them because parasites are the most common cause. Parasites are the most common cause of issues such as fatigue, tired, bloating, inner ear infections, ringing, like in your ear, the tinnitus, things like that, foot pain, knee pain, pain in your elbow, joint pain, ligament pain. Please stop touching me.
I feel like,
Um, So yeah, if you don't detox twice a year, those things build up in your body, and then your body, you think you're craving like sugar or different things like that, and you're actually not. It's the parasites talking.
Mom, I have chips and apple. Can I get chips?
Ask your dad.
No.
Mom, I have chips and
You know what?
I
No.
want to go out.
So yeah, just be aware of that. Okay, I'm just trying to have 5 minutes to myself, please. Jacob, Jacob, can you please wake up? I'm trying to have 5 minutes to myself. Please, thank you.
Mom, I have chips too.
5 minutes isn't a thing in our household. Like, without me, just everything comes unglued. It's crazy. Anybody else have that problem that has kids where everything just comes unglued? Looks like my kid's trying to follow me outside. Jesus. Go inside, please.
I want to go back with Zoe.
No, we're not.
No, I want to show this.
No.
Please.
Get inside the house now.
Go inside, please. Go ahead, just walk back.
Go.
Yeah, she doesn't want to go inside. She wants to go back to her friend's house.
I just want
Come on.
to show
Come on.
that.
Honey, she doesn't need to see that. She's too old for those.
No, I want to.
I'll go inside. I'll be inside in a few minutes, okay? Daughter's looking at herself in the mirror, trying to get me to look at her. She's doing a little puppet show. Kids. Does anybody else have tattoos? Go out here, that way I can be just uninterrupted for a minute. So if I can give any piece of advice, I'll be doing a live poetry reading. If you guys do have a chance to tune into the live and can give me some feedback, I'd appreciate it. If not, I completely understand. That is, go into this week with a positive mindset, positive attitude, and don't worry about other people. People can be rude, and it's not a reflection of you, but rather a reflection of them. Skin is so dry since the sunburn, I swear. So anything that people say is not really a reflection of your behavior, but it's a reflection of them and their true colors. And when you think about being reactive to people this week, instead of reacting, go, oh, okay, they're, having a hard day, whatever, they're being insecure, just whatever you need to tell yourself. But just remember that this week, people are going to be who they're going to be. And a lot of people are very, 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 very insecure. And don't let that make you have a bad day, a bad 5 minutes, or a bad week. Don't even let it rent space in your head, because people are assholes. That's the reality. People are assholes, and they will do whatever they can to physically and mentally bring you down and try to make you crack like an egg. So just kind of keep that in mind. What color is what? I just had my neighbor looking at me because I walked outside for another minute. She just asked me if I'm doing my live again because she recently discovered that I have a YouTube channel. I'm assuming that you're talking about the tattoo. This one, it only has a little bit of color on the side. And the guy who did it actually kind of didn't really shade it in the way I wanted it to be to begin with. So I'm a little disappointed in that, but it is what it is. That guy, fun fact, the guy who did that Star Wars tattoo, not so fun fact, it's called Royal Syndicate, I believe. And he got his license revoked as a tattoo artist, and he's actually in jail because he was selling methamphetamine and heroin out of his tattoo shop. No kidding on that. No, it made the news. And he was also having a relationship with a 14-year-old girl. So he was a predator. Pedophile, predator, whatever you want to call it. He was just no bueno. He was having a relationship with a 14-year-old, and the girl's mom found out. Yeah, he fell asleep while doing my tattoo, and he actually messed up. I don't know if you can see this. If you look in here on the eyeballs, he actually badly messed up on my tattoo, and he didn't shade it. So I'm gonna go get it professionally, redone at some point. Oh, this thing is black. It's just black. It's a two-piece suit. You can buy them on Amazon. I think you get red, green, black, blue, and gray. And yeah, it comes in a 5-pack. And the bottoms and tops are actually sold separately. It's just workout attire. But if you buy them, I recommend sizing up because their material runs a little bit small. And I recommend also, if you buy them, wash them and then hang dry them because they shrink really badly if you put them in the dryer. And they also start peeling. So, but they're not bad for the price that I paid for them. I think in total for both, I paid about $50, and that included the shipping and handling. So, and that's from Amazon. They're not bad. They also sell shorts in the same type of outfit that you can get, like the same matching shirts and matching shorts to go with it. I chose to get leggings because they have pockets. You can never go wrong with pockets. Yeah, I have five different colors of these workout outfits. I wish they had a little bit more like this, and I'd actually get like a toddler shirt or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So, does anyone have any plans for this Sunday night? Going into the Monday? Anybody going on any exciting vacations? Now that my daughter went inside. I hate smoking cigarettes around her because I don't want her to inhale it. Don't smoke all the time, just when I'm stressed. Don't get sunburned. It is not fun, dude. My skin is itching like crazy, and the aloe vera isn't doing anything. Usually when it gets darker out, that's when all my comadres, my 420 comadres, come out, because when it's dark, no one bothers us. Give me a thumbs up emoji if you know what I'm talking about. Oh, that's lovely. Every once in a while, I'll take a walk out in the front where I live, and I just kind of pick up like trash and stuff like that to keep it clean where I live. I hate when people throw trash. Care a lot about the environment. We only have one Earth. We have to protect it. And I'm looking down on the ground, and someone threw a bag of, I'm not touching it, they threw a bag of crack rock on the ground. People have a huge problem in the area where we live with methamphetamines, opioids, drinking, and homelessness. I don't know why. make sure I put it out so that way nobody says nothing to me. Show you what? Workout outfit? It's in black. Well, the one I'm wearing. The one I was wearing yesterday was a maroon one. Yeah, he was all dressed up because he just got back. They have to go up to the about 3-4 hours away up past San Francisco to go do their military orders. And then just like not even a week or two ago, they sent him for annual training to some part of Texas. And that was wild. They had to go help another unit. So yeah, we're a military family. We're out here because he's on orders out here right now. See how long that'll last before they ask us to go to another area. Hey, Sparkles. I'm going to show you behind me what I was talking about a minute ago. So like what I was saying about the sun setting. Turn around and show you this. This is beautiful. Look at this. You see that right there? The cotton candy looking sky. This is my favorite. So I like to come out here and look at this. And then when it's really dark, I like to come out and see if like the Big Dipper and Orion's Belt and whatnot is out. And I'll stay out here stargazing for like hours at a time, like every single night. I love to look at the stars. Honestly, right now, if the aliens kidnapped me, I would consider it a vacation. I know that's sad to say that, but like when you haven't been on a vacation in so long, an abduction would be a vacation. Speaking of smoking, I just found out there's a restaurant in our area where, if y'all seen Alice in Wonderland, where the caterpillars smoking out of the hookah, so they actually have restaurants a couple restaurants that have opened up in our area where they actually let you use the hookahs inside of the restaurant, just like they did in like the 1950s diners and stuff. Take my hair down. Freaking every once in a while I'll get a headache at the end of the day from the ponytails. If you have long hair, you know what I'm talking about. But I am going to let everyone go because I have to go inside and see what all the commotion is. My guess is, since it's about 8:52 California time, is that my children are refusing to take a shower and go to bed. They like to give my husband a run for his money. And this is why they say women can do 50 things while it's hard for a guy to juggle one thing. And that's not any disrespect on anybody. It's just literally I vacuum my house with the baby on my hip. And he asked me to hold the baby while he stirs the pot of chicken noodle soup. Anyway, I hope everyone is having a great night. I'm going to go ahead and end the live. And I hope everyone has a safe rest of their weekend and a good week. I will see you live tomorrow at 10 a.m. California time. So if you are able to tune in and watch that, hopefully I'll see you at 10 a.m. Peace, love, and good vibes. Have a great night, everyone. Bye.